Gundam.tk presents High Grade Danazine. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2 R's 2 B's from GundamReviews.net, and if you take a look at these, yes, there's 5 plates, only 2 colors, but that means that the Danazine is all put together and it's time for the H3 to go beat up some cannon fodder in the form of a rather large-looking dragon. If you follow the directions, here's what you're going to get. The legs, the feet, you can have those separate, and probably one of the largest body parts you're ever going to see in Gundam. Arms, wings with 2 colors, a neck piece to go along with that head. With extras including 2 oversized Vagan hands there, and you're going to be getting these little extra wing-a-lings that you can swap off for the head. Taking a look at the legs, which look incredibly small compared to the rest of the body, but still it's a great color combination, this dark gray and the green. It's going to be standard ball joints here when you just attach the hips on, some cool little scale-ish parts there. And you're going to have a bend here of this much, so you're just going to get a little bit over 90 degrees with the 2 points, and you're going to be able to move them a little bit forward, although I don't think you'd probably want to. It doesn't feel all that good when you do it. Anyway, in terms of the knee armor, you're able to move this up and down, and the ankle armor is going to be locked into place, but the foot is going to move around here fairly well, off to the side not so much, but forward quite well. You've got Adidas striping there on the back and the bottom, and you can bend this down for the flight mode. The next part has to qualify as the most ridiculous Gundam part ever assembled. I mean, not the most ridiculous Gundam, we'll see how that's going to be when the MS is together. But I'm talking about as a single part look at this beast. First of all, when you come up here, this is where you're going to attach the neck onto, just into a ball joint there. And then you're going to have these little parts here for some more scale effects. Yes, the not chest laser is looking okay. You've got a big green seal there, which is going to look good on the black with the green all around it. Would have been nice if there was a clear part, I suppose, but then again, they kept it to 2 colors, which probably kept their costs down. A little bit of Adidas striping there, and the shoulder parts, the leg mounts here for the hips, they are going to have these black parts, which are going to move in and out, and they do look a little bit thin, but you're probably never going to really notice that, even if they are popped out, and perhaps from the front, but it should provide a little bit of interest when you actually do the posing, and you can move them this way as well. In terms of the actual tail, look at this. You've got 3 big moving sections here, starting back here, and you're going to be getting a pretty good bend here. You can get this off of probably a little over 45 degrees to either side. But what I really like is when you take a look at these middle sections here, is that you've actually got the top and the bottom sort of offset, so that this one's going to stay on this part, this one's going to stay on this part, and because of that, no matter what angle you're looking at it from, it's still going to look pretty mechanical tail-ish. If I've learned anything from Super Sentai, that is. Over here, you're going to get about the same amount of bend, and you're going to have this long tail here, which isn't going to have any weapons or lasers or anything attached to the end. You can see that you're going to have that regular weak point there, but in terms of an overall bend, you can do a 180 like this if you take this and bend it all the way. And even though these ones can only move off to the side, you are going to have this one, which is going to give you the up-down ability, so you should be getting all sorts of cool poses, whether they're off to the side or up in the air. And cheating ahead to the height comparison, here's the H3, and here is that one single body part, even without the rest of the body put on. The next section is not going to be anywhere near as cool. I suppose you could call this the body, but anyway, you're going to put the arms in here, and these black parts are not going to be moving. This is the wing attachment points, and they are going to move up and down, just simple polycaps there. This is what's going to attach on, and in terms of moving parts, you're going to have this part here for the neck, which you can notice is going to move around, although not at the same degree that you can get with the tails, and that's where you're going to attach the head in. You can also sort of push it in if you want to keep it firm there, and otherwise you can pull it out for that ability to look 10 degrees to the side. The arms are a big step up on T-Rex arms, but they're not that noticeable again, I think, once you actually put it on the body. First of all, you can move this green part independent of the shoulders there. You can also move the shoulders up and down a little bit. You can rotate this all the way around, and the bend at the elbow that you're going to be getting is 90 there, and then about another 45. Once you take a look at the hands, they're just going to be on polycaps, so you can sort of push them in, pop them out if you want to move it around more. You've got these Vulcans here. These are the ones that are going to move, so I suppose you could put some beam sabers on there. And in comparison, the other set is just going to have a solid piece in there, and it's going to have a little bit less details, but it's going to have more of an up-down, getting ready to claw your face out kind of thing, as opposed to this one where he's waving hello before filling your head with beam Vulcans there. But it's the wings that had me wanting to purchase this kit from the minute I saw it, and that's because, look at that. What the pros are always going to be doing, if you take side skirts, you just saw the H3 there. Anyway, on the inside of its skirts, it's just going to have empty hollow parts there. The pros always fill that in. Here, Bandai's doing it for you. If this was the Zetis or the Gafran, that would just be a single piece of green there that would have a little bit of lining. But in this case, just going to the trouble to put on 2 colors here, show a little bit of the green here as well, and then put in those little lining details. This, for me, is what makes me want to have this on display because I think it's going to look awesome in its open position. You saw where it attached into the neck/body, and it's going to go up and down there a little bit. For this part here, you're going to be able to move it a little bit up and down, and you're going to be able to bend it in, so you should be able to close up the wings if that's going to be very useful, but you're not going to get as much mobility in terms of rotation here if you wanted them to be arched up or things like that. You're pretty much just locked in with only that range of movement, which is not all that bad. Anything more, and you can expect it to go popping off. And the head is really bringing this home in terms of being a very cool, unique, and certainly far from Zaku-ish kit. First of all, the green seals that the Vega and Yui suits have been having is looking good here. It's even more pronounced just because of the length of the actual head there. This part just popped off, but you can get the idea that it's going to attach on and provide part of the neck. Anyway, you get to see even more of the green, which is certainly a good thing. Commander's antenna is looking good up there, and you've got a camera lens down below there for the chin. So you're getting that double green, well, the green seals on top of the green, which I think is looking great. Outside of this, you can see that it's got a lot longer head than the Gafran or anybody else's. You saw this black part here, and you can see that this is just going to be a PC6, I think, to attach this on with a double ball joint, which should provide a little bit more mobility than that little part that you saw on the neck itself. But it's these wingalings over here on the side of the head, Captain America style, and these are not going to do too much. They're going to pop out, actually. And what you can do when you do that is take these other ones that they give you, and when you transform it, you can actually close off both sides and make it look like a little bit more practical of an aerial weapon. It could even go ramming into people, you get the idea. But anyway, it's going to look good, I think, in either mode, just not in this half mode. Lots of fun putting this kit together, although it took a lot longer than a regular high-grade Age kit with the 5 full plates there in terms of size. It took a little bit longer than the Age 3, I'd say, but for 1,500 yen, you feel like you're getting a lot of value once you put it together. I was a little disappointed by the 2 colors, I suppose, but when you see the results in terms of this, before you actually get to check it out and see if it's posable or not, I'm very happy with it so far. The arms are unique enough with the shoulders, the legs look a little bit stumpy, but that 90-degree bend down is looking good, and overall the thighs and the knee part, these are looking good. But it's once you actually get to the body, and especially this part, the cool looking laser and that ridiculously long tail there with the 3 sections that can bring it around 180, and the bend mechanism. I gotta go in there and clean that up a little bit with my lining marker. But otherwise, I'm really impressed with it, especially the head, which takes the best of what we've seen from the Vegans and just sort of stretches it out and makes it look even cooler in no matter which mode it's in. The Gafran looks great when his wings out. This one is permanently set in. They seem to be a little bit weak though, so I'd imagine they could go falling off. But that remains to be seen, so stick around for the next part while you see this mobile suit mode and transformed into its flight mode. Anyway, this can't wait to have this face off with the H3, and it's going to tower over some of the Vegan suits, I suspect. Anyway, so why don't you let me know what you thought of the parts and the MS, and we'll see you next part of the videos. Bye. Forget about Game of Thrones. I should have gone for some parcel tongue jokes there in the teaser.